I'm a real player. You can put me on the roster. All about my T's, I ain't worried about the pasta. Baby, nine, mine on the roster. If they a hater, might as well come fly like a turtle. Burn like a feather. Scream in the rain. Dixie like the weather. Third rim a cup. Can't go without my medicine. So quick. Like a big bag of pepper. Where is your letter? All they know is suckers. You know the money talk. You can ask Chris Tucker. I'm a country boy.
Oh, welcome to the Side Action, episode 26 of season 8. My name is Jim Weglars, a.k.a. Wegs. You can follow me at Wegspool on X and on Instagram.
And I'm Coop. You can check me on Instagram at Dalton Cooper on Instagram and on X at Mr. Grumpy Gills. Again, we are the Side Action podcast. I've already thought, too, for the intro, we could put DJ Moore's catch as maybe on there. That was a nice soundbite now that I think about it. So maybe that'll be some updating coming to that soon.
I mean, feel free to put Cole Kmet in there. I mean, he would have the second catch that meant something.
Well, that and the one against the Bengals, too. That was a big one.
Oh, yeah. That's my guy, Colston Loveland.
Okay.
Nice. He almost took me he got me like third place in my fantasy leagues. He was so good. Yeah. But, you know, he obviously touchdown dependent. But, yeah, man. So, hey, welcome back. You were in California.
It is.
You're getting a suntan, but not really. It's good to see you back. You good?
Oh, yeah. Hanging in there. Living the dream.
As you should. You got to live the dream. What else did you do last week? I mean, what did you guys do? You said you were just chilling at home for the Super Bowl? Yeah,
we didn't do too much. I was kind of gearing up to go to Cali. I think I flew out Tuesday morning, so. And then I got back yesterday evening at 8 o'clock, 8:30ish, somewhere in there. So, but other than that, it's been pretty laid back.
Racking up those miles, baby.
Yeah. We'll talk about it in the shed. Don't worry.
Well, weekend I still did dry on Saturday. Went to Lucky Strike, and then we went to Sluggers for Ann's birthday and Haggerty's birthday. So that was kind of fun, although your sister was like, "Why aren't you drinking?" And I'm like, I'm doing dry. And I'm like, it's helping my sleep. She's like, "It doesn't help you sleep. Drinking helps you sleep." I'm
my God.
Like, the Whoop tells me otherwise, Steph. But and then we went to the Super Bowl party at my buddy Brandon's place. Really great party. He had some nice stuff. He had like these glow stick things that we were using at the Bad Bunny halftime show, which, by the way, I would say 70% of the women left after the halftime show. It wasn't that exciting of a game. We'll talk about that in a minute. And then, I started off with a bang. I drank at the party. Carlo, our buddy Carlo, my partner when we do the volleyball announcing, he had his first comedy.
Yeah, I saw that he was doing open mic night or something. Yeah.
He took a class at the Lincoln Lodge, and then the final is you on stage for 5 minutes or whatever it was. He did great. The whole group did great. It was really fun. A couple of people, I saw Brent and Felicia out there.
Was Carly part of that too? I think I saw Carly on that.
Carly was not.
Okay. I think I did see her post something about that though. She did kind of an open mic situation too.
Maybe she did a different one, but
I have no idea.
Really cool. And then I did a happy hour Tuesday. Went to Money Gun yesterday.
The debauchery is back.
He's back, kid. Don't worry. He's spending his money in these streets.
Yeah.
Sorry, Chicago. Sorry I didn't spend all the money for a month, but I'm going to stay in tonight because
debauchery.
4 out of 5 days beveraging. It's like the liver's like, what? I thought we had a deal. So last night was pretty fun. Went to this other place besides Money Gun, which I love, with my former coworker Alice and her 2 young friends. It's funny. I mean, you're about this age. It's fun to hang out with 30-year-olds. They just I don't know what they're doing. It took them 40 minutes to get to the bar. I'm just sitting at the bar. Finally show up. They're goofing around. All these guys are flocking around them. They're real cute girls. Then we go to this place called Expat, which is, I don't know, a club now. It used to be a nice restaurant. They converted it to a club. I was there for an hour. Totally just doing my little thing, dancing a little bit. This girl waves me over. I'm like, okay. I'm like, hey, how's it going? Whatever. And oh, I saw you dance. I'm like, yeah, let's dance a little bit. let's get a drink. Get her a drink. She's like, do you like steakhouses? I'm like, oh boy, I see where this is going. So
you have dinner tomorrow? Is that what you're saying?
I'm not going to take her to dinner tomorrow, but I'll take her at some point, hopefully. We'll see. That's hilarious. So
nice.
Just a life and times, But I slept like crap last night, so there you go. There you go. Didn't sleep well after boozing.
Oh man, that's funny.
All right, dude. Let's talk about the shed. Looks like you got some. You're chomping at the bit. Tell me what's going on. Who you got in the shed this week, Coop?
Oh man. Well, Will Campbell is in the shed. He had a tough Super Bowl. He had a tough playoffs in general. We kind of knew coming in that he was going to be either the reason why they won or the reason why they lost. And unfortunately, he was one of the main reasons why they lost. According to Next Gen Stats, he surrendered, I believe it was 14 quarterback pressures. According to Next Gen Stats. I don't know if it was that many, but it was a high number. It was a big number. We can all agree on that. And then he didn't talk to the media after the game, which is a fine. He got fined for that because players, with the PA, you have to talk to the media after the Super Bowl. Refused to, so he got slapped with a fine there. So, yeah, you're in the shed, man. I know you're only 22. I know this is only his first time, but he could have. I feel like you got to just talk to the media. I feel like you got to own it, even though you don't want to do it. You just got to, do it for 10, 15 minutes. I don't care if you give the most generic answers ever, but you just got to do it. It's just a bad look when you don't.
It is, but he worked for the CTA for one day. It was like a turnstile. He was just
Yeah,
look, I actually heard that he may be a little injured. He's playing hurt, so I'm going to give him a little bit of a pass. But hey, rookie left tackle, you know what I mean? It's a tough job. You got to try. But yeah, he did not do well. The whole offensive line didn't do well for Drake May. So what do you think?
No, I think the whole offensive game plan did not work well for Drake May and or the Patriots. And then the other shed, the other shed I had was Southwest Airlines. They are in the shed. They have so many problems right now, and I got to live them firsthand, which was great. We were delayed leaving Chicago Tuesday morning. My flight was supposed to be at like 6:10 in the morning. Got delayed till like 6:45 due to a bad plane, I guess. My connecting flight I missed in Vegas due to said delay. So they delayed me 3.5 hours in Vegas. The other bad part was during that flight, too, from Chicago to Vegas, which is like, 2.5 hour, 3 hour flight, give or take. The lady I was sitting next to, half empty plane, by the way. It was literally half full. Like, it was insane. Lady I was sitting next to was an older lady. And she was a little heavier, and I've got wide shoulders. So we're like sitting on top of each other. And she kind of like, she says to me, she's like, I might have to get up and down a couple times. She's like, my sciatic is kind of bad on these long flights. And X, Y, and Z. So I was like, hey, no problem. Like, I saw an open seat like 3 rows ahead of me where all these there's like probably 15 open seats in front of me. And I was like, you know what? I'll just move. You can stretch out. If you got to get up, no big deal. So I do. I get up. I go sit in that seat. We get up in the air. No more than like 15 minutes of us being in the air, the flight attendant comes over to me. It was like, I remember you sitting there when we taxied and took off. And I was like, no, actually, I'm sitting in like, I think I was in like row 15, but my actual seat was in like row 18. I was like, I'm just a couple rows back. I told her like the lady, I was sitting next to, she mentioned having all these problems, X, Y, and Z. So I just figured it'd be easier just to get out of her way. No one was sitting here anyway. She's like, oh, you'll have to double check that with the flight attendants in the back. And I was like, okay. So I just continued watching my phone. I was watching Ace Ventura. So I continued to watch Ace Ventura. And then she comes back to me like, 5 or 6 minutes later, and she's like, no, you're going to have to go back to your seat. And I was like, on a half-empty flight, I was like, it doesn't make any sense to me. And then she really didn't say much. She's just like, I'm going to need you to go back to your seat. So I go back to my seat, and this is the dumbest shit I've ever seen. We fly for another 2 hours, and there's about 45 minutes left in the flight. They come back to that woman who's sitting next to me. It was like, hey, we have an open seat in this row up here if you'd like to sit. It's literally, and they put her literally in the seat that I was sitting in for 45 minutes, and then we land, and then obviously everything is
what?
For the rest. Yes, I swear to God. I was like, why? I was like, it was the most pointless. Like, where is the logic in this? The logic just escaped everybody.
So it's been a while since I've been on Southwest, so they have assigned seating now, obviously.
Yep, they do.
And you must have been in a premium area, but like if it's empty, who gives a shit?
Literally. And I literally moved. That's like totally. I was like, the only reason why I moved seats is because the woman had asked me if, she told me she's going to get up. And she did. She got up like 6 times, which is, I get it. I'm not trying to be an asshole or anything, but
No.
I'll help her out. Whatever.
You're trying to accommodate. You're being a good person.
And then so that was crazy. And then when I landed in Vegas, I go up to the counter, or whatever. I told the lady, I missed my flight. I missed it by like 10 minutes too. That's what really sucked. And I asked the lady, I was like, hey, I'm gonna be stuck here for like an extra 3.5 hours. Is there like a way I can get a meal voucher? Obviously I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be having lunch.
It wasn't weather.
Yeah.
Mechanical.
I literally told, I was like, I didn't plan on having lunch here, but now that's going to probably be the case. Is like, there's a way to get a meal voucher. If she immediately says no, that we don't do that anymore, and X, Y, and Z. And then so I kind of went back and forth with her for a couple minutes. She gave me a QR code to fill out. So I walked away, got on customer service, and the customer service basically told me that it's up to the discretion of people at the airport to give me those meal vouchers. So I was like, oh, okay, I'll go play ball. So I go back up, and she goes, oh, it's you again. And I was like, yeah, it's me. So we went back and forth again, and then she eventually brings the supervisor up. And eventually, within 5 minutes, the supervisor just gives me my meal voucher and tells me to have a nice day. So I was like, everything about that whole experience, Southwest, see you later, in the bin, probably never fly them again. I'd rather drive to California next time than fly all the way on Southwest. And poor experience all the way around.
The only thing I'm going to say to you right now is, yes, good for you getting the voucher, but you had 3.5 hours. You're close to the Strip, baby. Get down and roll some dice.
Yeah.
You're so close.
I know.
You can get down and back in like 15 minutes. It's so close to the Strip.
Yeah, I know. I should have. I was just so irritated because they told me I was going to lose my rental car too, because I was supposed to pick it up at 10 a.m.
Really?
Yeah, because the World Expo takes up all the rental cars. Literally, there was literally no cars for them to give me. So like when I called, I was like, hey, I'm going to be late. And they're like, well, we don't know if we can hold it that long. And I'm like, I don't understand why you can't hold it for 3 hours. I'm not asking you to hold it for an extra 2 days. I'm just like, I'm going to be there today. It's just a couple hours behind. So I dealt with that for a whole 20 minutes, and it was just a shit show on Tuesday.
Wow, look at this guy living the travel life. This is
it's insane.
I
got up at 3 a.m. Chicago time on Tuesday, and I didn't go to bed until probably like 8:30 or 9 p.m. Pacific time.
Oh, that's rough.
So it was a long day. It was a real long day.
Well, I'm glad you made it back safely.
Yeah. So Southwest can go fuck themselves, and you're in the shed. Have a nice day. Who you got in the shed, Wegsy?
No, maybe not as good as that. That was an all-timer right there. First, and it's kind of a little, I know you're going to say I'm mean to say this, but I'm putting Lindsey Vonn in there, man.
Oh, no, I completely agree.
She's a skier, lovely lady, obviously very talented skier. She tore her ACL literally 2 weeks ago today. 2 weeks ago today, she tears her ACL. I remember seeing it. I was like, oh, man, Lindsey, she's 41, whatever she is, tears her ACL. I'm like, as an ACL guy who's torn it twice, I'm always feeling for people who tear, especially an athlete of that caliber. And I was shocked that like 4 to 5 days later, she's doing training runs in Italy. I'm like, what are you doing? What are you competing for? And then it's like TikTok dominates my life. So it's like, there she is, TikTok doing her practice run. I'm like, this is scary. I remember talking to people at the party on Saturday. I was talking to RPN, talking to people, like, it's really weird. Lindsey Vonn is still competing. She must be wearing a brace. Must be doing this. Very next day, destroyed out there. Did you see the X-ray?
They had to. No, I didn't. But they saw the airlift and everything.
3 surgeries to repair her broken leg, which was basically just nothing. It was like broken in 2 places. And that's tough for her. Obviously, end of her career I hope an end of the career in the Olympics. But
her dad said if he has anything to say about it, it'll be the last time.
Yeah, and it's just she got airlifted. I mean, look, at some point, and I guess it's one of these things. Like it's the athlete. Injuries are part of the game. We all know this. Oh, Lindsey, please, I'm glad you were okay, like alive. But that was a scary moment, and obviously you can go in the shed and recover because it's going to take a while. But 3 surgeries to get through that. I mean, that's insane, dude. And I don't know if you've been watching any of the skiing. I know it's always like on the edge. I think this particular track is like super icy and fast. I mean, my God, these guys are insane out there. But rest up.
No. And I told Linnea the same thing. I was like, sometimes you just got to protect the athlete from themselves because she just wants to go out there but it's like. And I think she mentioned in an interview too that like her knee was not the cause. Like it wouldn't have mattered if she had a good knee or not, the way that she was going. But at the same point in time, like what are you going for? Like I understand there's just so much to lose. Like your quality of life is going to be so much different probably due to this injury. Like she may not walk the same ever again just because she wanted to make that one last run when it really probably wasn't needed. Yeah, it's crazy.
Rough. And then about a close second, maybe the top one, our guy Stephon Diggs. I mean, we've been dogging him for a few weeks. He's got like the 4 kids in 1 year, which is amazing. Good for you. But at the Super Bowl, I'm sure you heard about it. Cardi B, she's on the field with Bad Bunny. She's running up to the press box so she can greet some people. She plans this $1 million party for the post game, and then Stephon Diggs has got his other girl like in the front row with his family. I mean, so she breaks up with him like immediately after the Super Bowl. Bye-bye, and then he's got the arraignment today. So Stephon Diggs, I don't know, dude. What's funny about him is it's like that attitude, right? Obviously he has ultimate confidence within all aspects of his life. But like at what point, like it's gotta catch up. It's catching up. Like karma's a biatch, you know what I mean? Like no Cardi, probably going to jail, got the 4 kids, lost the Super Bowl. That's a hell of a week, Stephon. And maybe more, maybe a bigger shed. We need a steel reinforced shed. You're going to be in your own shed later, but I got to put you in there.
Yeah, no, I agree. And apparently, it was like he had one of his baby mamas was there, and then she found out. I guess that, and like she had a Stephon Diggs shirt on and all this, and she
was in the front row.
Yeah, literally. Yeah. Yeah.
And then he was like sneaking some other woman in the hotel or something. I can't keep up with this guy. You can't even make this stuff up. I was like, oh my God, this guy's off the chain, and it's not like he's the best player in the league anyway. But
no, I just want to say how the women put up with this. You know what I mean? Like that's what's really crazy. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. We'll save that for a different podcast.
Exactly. All right. Let's go positivity club dub. I guess I'm going to start because I'm Mr. Olympic guy. And it's all because of X. It has nothing to do. I would never know this person because I wasn't watching all the speed skating like I normally do. Jutta Lourdan. Have you seen Jutta Lourdan?
No,
she is a lovely, very attractive Dutch speed skater that won the gold in one of the events, and she is very good looking. Let's put it that way. She's got literal assets that are very popular. And she did take a tumble here and there. She's all over the Twitter feed.
Oh, that's Jake Paul's wife or girlfriend or whatever.
Jake Paul's
fiance. Yeah. It is. Yeah, here you go.
My God, I mean, she's stunning. But she belongs in Club Dub. She's amazing. You check it out. She obviously won. She's really good looking. If she's going to be a model or something now because she's everybody's favorite. There you go. There she is. So she's been all over the X feed for Wegs Pool. So I've been liking every single one I can see. So dink, 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 dink.
Yeah, so yes, homeboy.
Jutta, you are in Club Dub. I didn't realize that's Paul's girl. So my God, good looking kids eventually. So good for those guys.
Yeah, too bad he's an asshole. Yeah, that's a good. I didn't know that was her. I didn't know that was her name. So I did not get a chance to see that speed skating final.
Yeah, we did have an African American woman was the first African American gold medalist in speed skating as well. So that's cool. But Jutta got my. And then the other one in Club Dub, pretty obvious here. Bad Bunny. We talked about last week putting the other guys in the shed, and they deserved it. But Bad Bunny delivered. Great performance. Somewhat poignant, not too political. I just really enjoyed the process. He snuck in some celebrities, Cardi B and Jessica Alba, Pedro Pascal, Karol G. She's fine too. And then I kind of liked when he gave the Grammy to the little boy when they're watching the TV there. That was kind of heartfelt moment. And then of course he spiked the ball after he has the big, love is greater than hate kind of thing. So. Yeah. Bad Bunny, way to go, baby! Way to get it done.
He had 126 yards at halftime, which was more rushing yards than the whole Patriots team had the whole game. So yeah, he had more rushing yards at halftime than total offense for the Patriots did the first half. So
yeah,
yeah. So next gen stats, baby, they're the best.
That was on there. That was on the next gen.
Yeah.
So who do you got in Club Dub?
Well, first up for me, I had Kenneth Walker, pretty easy one. Obviously, Super Bowl MVP, we'll get into that. But, I mean, he's going to get paid. That's the biggest reason why I put him in Club Dub, because he's a free agent. He's about to go make that cheddar. And real good time to be his agent. Let's just put it that way. So you can go to the table and be like, hey, I got a Super Bowl MVP running back, and how much would you want to give us? So, and then the other side of Club Dub, I had Chris Paul, because he officially announced his retirement today. 21 years in the NBA, 12 All-Star appearances, 11 All-NBA teams, 9 All-Defensive teams, the 2006 Rookie of the Year, 2 Olympic gold medals, and obviously a part of the NBA 75th anniversary team. So the point god, if you will. The highlight reels are pretty sweet. I mean, he basically had the New Orleans Hornets on the map before New Orleans was ever on the map before. So shout out to Chris Paul. He's in Club Dub. We'll send him off into the sunset, even though it was a little rocky there toward the end. But yeah, thank you for your service. Our childhood is basically dead, or my childhood of NBA players is now basically dead with him retiring. Between him and Carmelo and some of the other early 2000s.
When they used to have those trips that they were like on the trip riding the
banana boat. Banana
boat thing.
Oh yeah. So
Chris Paul is great, man. I mean, obviously, it's just tough at the end of anybody's career, especially when you start bouncing around. He's got to make a choice. Like, is it over? And he made it today, which is good. It's over.
Well, he left the Clippers kicking and screaming. I don't know if you knew. Like, I don't remember that whole ordeal in the beginning of the season. Yeah.
But it's just how it goes. It's an end of an era for him, and LeBron's not too far away. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see.
But Club Dub, kind of a lot of talent in there.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no kidding.
All right, let's go over the Super Bowl. You already mentioned, we already know Seattle 29-13 did cover the number easily, 45.5 under easy on that one. As you mentioned already, I do net yards, like 45 net yards and 4 first downs in the first half. Tough to win any game, let alone the Super Bowl in that situation. And they were down 9-0. Like, it was like crazy. They still had a shot. But they started the game. They had 8 punts and a kneel down to start the game. So I want to talk to you. You mentioned, you made a great comment. What the hell was the game plan for New England? They didn't do anything. Like, are you going to try a trick play, a screen pass? Do something. It was just awful offense.
Yeah, and the tight ends were invisible too. That's what was really surprising me. I figured Hunter Henry would have more of an imprint on this game than what he did, or even Austin Hooper a little bit. But yeah, it was it was all Seattle's defensive line, man. They wrecked the whole game. Patriots could not run the ball, and I mean, even outside of the first drive, they may have had 1 first down on that first drive with Stevenson getting a couple carries, and then after that, it just went south for the winter. It was see you later.
It was interesting. I really thought, because we talked about McDaniels being in the big game before, I thought he was going to have a better game plan. I think they got lulled into the game. So Seattle, I mean, give the Patriots defense some credit. They played pretty good. Kept them on the end zone until, really late.
The fourth quarter. No, fourth quarter.
Well, was it the fourth? Okay, I guess so. Okay.
Yeah, it was, because we were still going into the fourth quarter with the first touchdown prop on the board. Yeah.
15-0 or whatever. Yeah, is that right? It went up to 13, whatever. Anyway, it was 12-0. Then they went to 19. But the way I looked at it was, I think that Vrabel thought he was in that game, even though it was 9-0. They have done nothing. In his mind, I think he thought, well, we're only 1 play away. But they didn't. I always thought, as those drives kept getting stalled, it was like 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. I'm like, are they going to try anything different here? I also thought that Drake May. We talked about, he did hit his rushing prop, but I think they were protecting him. They didn't try to run him. They weren't doing read options. I'm like, guys, you want to win this football game? So I think just kind of got lulled into a sense that they had a chance. And then finally, when they're down 19-0, hey, let's throw the ball a little bit. Like, oh, okay. Let's chuck it up to Mac Hollins. Shout out Mac Hollins. Longest reception of the game, longest touchdown of the game. Good job, Mac. But yeah, it was kind of a weird game.
Yeah. No, it was. Like I said, the line of scrimmage was controlled from the very jump of the game by the Seattle defense. So it's hard to get anything going in rhythm. It's hard to do anything when you're not comfortable. And it was very apparent very quickly that Drake May was not going to be comfortable the entire evening. So yeah. I
mean, he was sacked 6 times. He was pressured more than that, as you recalled. 3 turnovers, which was tough. It was one of those games, and obviously I bet too many overs. I'm sitting there like, there's only the Walker went over his stuff, Mayo and his passing and rushing, the sacks went over, the field goals went over.
Yep.
Matt Collins, then Henderson went over his receiving prop on like the last play. Whoop-de-doo. Other than that, everything was under. It was like, that's like the contrarian better, dream. Under. It's like so boring. But hey, that's how you win. That's how you win the money.
That's how it works. Sometimes you got to don't pass bar,
That's right. And hey, and then even the anthem went under, for God's sakes. We thought that was a lot.
I couldn't believe it. Yeah, especially when you got like the choir and the chorus, and
I know.
I don't know how that went under.
It was like it was like, come on, dude, like get up there. It's only 2 minutes. Coin toss, heads won. Like this was not the TT Me Pregunto was the first song. I guess I should have just stuck to whatever said online. That was right. Octopus didn't hit, no scoregami, but we almost thought there was a chance there was going to be a shutout. I know that was like that was 50-1. If it was a shutout, there's never been a shutout in the Super Bowl, so it was like that'd have been something.
That would have been fun. Yeah.
No quarterback reception, no big man TD. Come on.
No flea flicker, no nothing. Yeah, just insane.
Give me something. Give me something. And then obviously the Gatorade did hit yellow green, which kind of figured, but what can be said? The most important question, Coop, as we close the NFL season, do you think we're going to see either of these teams in the big game next year?
I think if we do, it's going to be Seattle. I think Seattle has a much better shot of getting back here than the Patriots do. Basically, I think if Bo Nix doesn't get hurt, then we're probably not even – this team's not even in the Super Bowl.
Correct.
And they still have Josh Allen to deal with in their own division. And if the Dolphins could ever get anything going, then they could be kind of a hindrance to the Patriots. But then also you got to think Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, none of those guys were in the playoffs this past season. So I just think it was the perfect storm for the Patriots to get to the Super Bowl. And I think we just watched maybe the worst team to ever play in the Super Bowl. I can maybe make that argument. They're probably the worst team to make the Super Bowl, at least in the last 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
So
I do think that one Giants team that got beat by the Ravens was pretty friggin' bad.
Yeah, Trent Dilfer game. Yeah.
I think you're right. It's definitely, they're up there. I mean, they were discussed as DVOA, like a terrible team. We were kind of talking about it.
Yeah.
I just thought they played. I mean, here's the thing: defense played fine. I think that they played good enough to be competitive. That the offense was so bad. So I think you're right. Seattle's got a good shot, but they got a tough division, and there can be teams like the Bears and other teams to contend with. But yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting Super Bowl that we probably won't see again. No rematches. I mean, just it's not like Eagles. Chiefs, or come back in 2 years, we'll see this,
Well, you've seen the logo reveal for Super Bowl 61, right? It's rumored to be the Bears and the Dolphins, which would be my wet dream, honestly. That'd be
what should have happened in 85, 86, I'll tell you that right
now. Yeah.
There's no doubt the Dolphins lost to the Patriots that year in the AFC Championship game. I don't know how that happened.
I don't know. I was dead, so I wasn't.
You were dead. You were.
I wasn't born, so I had to be dead, right? If you're not alive, then you're dead, right? So I was dead when that was going on. So
you were potential at that point.
Okay. Nice. I like that.
All right. Well, good season. Didn't finish off the way I wanted. Definitely didn't help the pocketbook, but that's okay. It was still a great season, fun season.
Yeah.
Excitement. Let's talk college hoops, baby. Here we are. We've got just about 5 weeks. I messaged the boys yesterday. I said in 5 weeks we're going to be at Circa. So get going.
Nice.
And pretty exciting. We're all staying at MGM Grand, so that'll be fun. We'll go over our normal Ken Palm stuff and dig into some games. Ken Palm top 10. This hasn't changed a heck of a lot, but there's some movement within it. You've got Michigan number 1 right now, Arizona, Duke, Houston. They're up a little bit. Florida's way up. They're up to number 5, Illinois 6, Iowa State. We've got UConn at 8, despite what we'll talk about in a minute, Purdue and Michigan State. So no real surprises here, right, Coop? And we know these teams are good, but is there anybody you think, they should be in there, but they're not in there?
No, that's pretty fair. I mean, you could maybe make the argument for North Carolina, but it'd be probably toward the bottom, maybe 9 or 10, maybe. Mm-hmm. But I mean, outside of that, it's pretty bulletproof, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, Kansas is the team that's not in Ken Palm top 10 that is in the top 10, in the AP. So it's just their offense isn't great, but their defense is really good.
Yeah, they're 40th in Ken Palm offense. So yeah, You could definitely, if you just put Miami and Kansas together, they'd be a super team. Yeah.
Super team.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's talk about these games. Last week we had the Johnnies, St. John's
Yeah,
at
your
home.
team. Your Johnnies.
Oh, my God. Madison Square Garden, dude. They covered that 1.5-point spread. They were the dog. It did go over the 143.5. I watched this every single second because I was excited. I did have money on the Johnnies here. Hey, Zuby. Anytime you got a guy named Zuby on your team, you've got to have good things. Zuby Ejiofor, 21 points, 10 boards, 7 assists, 3 blocks. He did everything, but their defense was really good. 15 turnovers were forced on UConn. I love when Danny Hurley's getting beat. He gets so salty and smug. But they took care of business, 81-72, and I promptly put a future on the Johnnies to win the title and to make the Final Four. I know I should have done it before the game, but I was too excited.
Yeah, that checks out. 19-11, this game was tied at 41, and then literally the Johnnies never let go of the lead from that point forward. They built it all the way up to 11. So They definitely dominated, to your point. The rebounds, they did out-rebound UConn as well by 6 or 7. So they controlled the pace, the tempo. The one thing, too, they had 31 – St. John's had 31 total free throw attempts, and UConn had 12.
Mm-hmm.
So just I don't know if that was just the home whistle or the style of play, but that really
style of play.
They got UConn in foul trouble, and it definitely had an impact on the game.
Yeah. The point guard for UConn was pretty good. He got some plays in there.
Damari, I think. Damari Jr.
Damari's good. He can make some plays. I just looked at the team because I'm in full judgment mode, Coop. I'm like, who can win, who can't win? I'm like, this UConn team, they're good. They're going to run some good offense. They're going to beat most teams. But they don't have one dynamic guy. They run this kind of cool offense that just wears you out. But if they play against a team like St. John's that can get up in your grill and guard you everywhere on the court, they're just not the same team. And the free throw story is true. If you're not driving the basketball and penetrating the lane, getting people in foul trouble, it's good night. They don't have a lot of depth. You know what I mean? Their depth at the center position. They brought in some kid. They had the one guy. What's his name? He's really good. Taurus Reed, I think. He's really good. But once he gets in foul trouble, they have no center. The big white dude in the bench, he's milquetoast. Zuby was just schooling the guy every time it came in. So,
yeah.
Love the Johnnies.
You
alluded to the Heels. The Heels, I watched this game too. Duke they were leading every second of the game. Every second. They were by 14 at halftime. They were winning about 6 points with just under 3 minutes to go. And then give North Carolina credit. Doesn't play great D. They shut the door. They did not let them score those last 3 minutes. Hit a couple of threes, and then Seth Trimble hit the three. I don't know if you saw it in live action, but he hits the three originally it was 0 seconds. It was 0.4 they put back on the clock. And that was their only lead and the win, 71-68 for the game. So Heels, they did it. I did lose this bet. I had the Duke in this one, and it looked good for a while, and then it just flipped over.
This game reminded me of the Houston game last year. That's what this literally reminded me of. Duke is just going to control the game the whole time, and all of a sudden they're like, when it's time to really put the game away, that they just, I don't know if they shrink or if they just feel the pressure. I don't know. There's a bunch of different things. It happens again. So I'm going to be curious to see if this becomes a theme as we continue on to maybe something just to keep in the back of your mind as we get closer to that March run.
Well, you're not wrong. Texas Tech did the same thing to them when they came back. I don't know if that was in Madison Square Garden or I don't think that was in Cameron. Maybe it was. But that was.
It wasn't Cameron. Or no, it wasn't Madison Square Garden. Yeah, yes, it was an off-site game. Yeah.
17 points down, and they came all the way back.
Yeah.
I think you're right. Cam Boozer is a great player. I really like seeing him. But I don't know what was going on in the second half. They decided to run 4 out, instead of having anybody in the paint. They ran 4 out. And Cam Boozer was like taking this guy off the dribble. Look, he's a great player. He'll be an NBA player. I want him closer to the basket, dude. Like, let him get a double team and kick it out. They didn't use that offense in the second half, and it really cost them because they became kind of tentative. And they, to your point about the free throws, you can't see that on your breakdown. But if you watch the game, they only drew 1 foul. Duke drew 1 foul in the second half. 1.
Yeah. They shot 6 free throws for the whole game, by the way.
Right. You can't beat a team. If you're winning, you should be shooting a bunch of free throws because, they're fouling you to slow the game down. They didn't need to do that. And even if they did, they won foul. So anyway, it was a good comeback by North Carolina. It's not on the write-up, but they promptly went and lost at Miami. So typical move. Sparty against Illinois, great game. Sparty was a 1.5 point favorite. They do cover this one, and it goes over 142.5. This was a great game. I think Illinois played really well. They've been road warriors, but Jeremiah Fears, their point guard, who was he could have been in the shed at some point. He's tripping guys. He's doing the Grayson Allen moves. He's tripping guys under the pile and stuff. But he came through, scored 26 points, 15. This isn't rebounds. It's assists, dude. He was just getting in the lane every time, picking apart what is a pretty good defense for Illinois. But they got the win, 85-82. I guess you knew Sparty wasn't going to lose 3 in a row,
Right. Well, my big takeaway, too, is that I don't know if this is a Illini thing or this is more credit to Michigan State, but the Illini got out-rebounded. It only shows by 10 in the box score, but I think if you watch this game, the physicality was definitely dominated by Michigan State. It was very apparent. And that's what kind of took me by surprise was how, I guess, better on the glass Michigan State appeared than Illinois.
Yeah. When you let Michigan State just dominate the offensive glass, you're going to lose. You've got to figure out ways to get them off the glass or get them in foul trouble, so you can't do that because that's exactly what they want. They want to just beat you up and just dominate. So you're right. Good point. Houston, you mentioned Houston a couple of minutes ago. Houston, they're on a roll. I mean, this team keeps going. They go to BYU, which we kind of expected. They win 77-66. By the way, BYU averages 86 points a game. 20 points in their own building. And AJ Devonta had 28 points in this game. So, and
he played well. He was 9 of 14 shooting, by the way. So it's not like he was just jacking them up,
They just let him score. They're like, go ahead, AJ, you score. You can't score 70, so go ahead. We're going to shut down everybody else, and nobody else could do a damn thing. You want rebounding prowess, that's a team right there, too. Houston can do that. This game stayed under the 151.5. So Houston's on a roll. They got some big games coming up, but they won their 4th straight.
Yeah, BYU shot 40% from the field in this game. They were 21 of 53. So to your point, just the clamps on the team was just it was impressive. It was really impressive. I mean, AJ was 9 of 14. The next highest guy was 6 of 9, and after that, nobody else made more than 2 shots for BYU. Yeah, just insane.
When you you played a little ball. I played a lot of basketball when I was younger, in high school. And if somebody gets up, you're a shooter. You don't like that guy up in your grill. You know what I mean? It's not just about closing on the shot. They're making you earn every time you get open. You got to run around 6 screens to get a shot. It just makes you uncomfortable. You get out of rhythm, and that's what Houston does a great job of. So speaking of Kansas, as I mentioned them earlier, without Darren Peterson, they take out Arizona. Arizona, you're undefeated. You're coming into Allen Fieldhouse. We're going to show you what's up. They were down in this game, actually as much as 11 points in the second half, and they just kind of closed. They clamped down, played great defense. To your point, they shot 21 of 25 free throws, and Arizona only hit 8 of 14. That's pretty much your game, and they win 82-78. My question is, are the Jayhawks real contenders?
Yeah, the funny thing is, too, I think I was looking up when I think they've played 9 games without Peterson, and I think they're 7-2 in those 9 games without him.
Right.
So that's what I thought was really funny. But, yeah, I mean, Kansas has got to be for real. I mean, they don't turn the ball over much. They only had 11 turnovers. They basically had the same amount of rebounds as Arizona. The three-point shooting might be a little worrisome, but, I mean, I just think that overall their size and their defense, I think you can kind of make up for that. And if they get hot from 3, if they start making some threes, this team could be incredibly tough and dangerous to play against.
Yeah, if Peterson actually plays, imagine if he actually plays in a month. They're winning these games without him. He's actually playing, hits big shots, hits some threes. This team could be – so, of course, just to lay it out, emotional decision to do St. John's. I did pick Kansas to win 18-1. So that was a good ticket. And then we'll talk in a minute who else I've got in there. So I'll put them up in a minute. The last game I wanted to highlight was Purdue. They finally bounced back. They had a game that they won, but they went to Nebraska. We know Nebraska's been really good. They were up 40-24. They almost blew this game, but they did not. Got forced in overtime, and they won the game. They crushed the Huskers on the glass, 54-37. They win 80-77 in overtime. They finally get a big win on the road. Thought they were kind of on, not life support, but just trending the wrong way. This was a big win. They got more games this week, but hopefully you got to see them come back or win hold them up.
They've just got to get better at shooting the ball. Their field goal percentage is terrible. I mean, Lawyer had 18 points and led Purdue, but he was 5 of 20 in shooting.
Yeah.
And overall, as a team, they shot 37%. Nebraska shot 44%. So they had 28 field goals made. They had 13 3-pointers. So just it was like a living and dying by the three situation a little bit. But to your point, they had a 22-point lead in this game and they almost blew it. So
I know it was worrisome.
Playing with their food.
They were definitely playing with their food. But Nebraska's a good team. They're not going to just roll over at home, but they did get the win and the cover. So okay, let's go to the big matchups this week. We'll highlight some of these games too, and teams. So Clemson's playing at Duke tomorrow. Coop, when I put this out initially, because I was trying to extrapolate what will be the spread, I had this game at 8.5 for Duke. They're 13.5-point favorites at home.
Yeah, I was going to say 12.5 is the number I got.
And the total is 133.5. It's super low. This is going to be a rock fight. This is tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central on ESPN. And tomorrow's Valentine's Day. We'll talk about that in a minute. But I don't know. I like Duke when it was 7-8 points. Do you think they're going to blow them up by 13 or more? I don't know. Low-scoring game. Look, Duke's going to be better at home. They actually didn't play good in their next game this week either, but they did win. Do you like?
Yeah, they did. They beat Pitt by 16. What are you
yeah, they
talking
didn't cover. They were 20-point favorites, right?
Yeah, that probably could be true.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think when you have a loss like they did against North Carolina, I think it gives a reason for Shire to really coach them tough.
Yes.
So yeah, I think you'll see Duke go on a little bit of a run. I think it's going to be a minute before we see this Duke team have another mental lapse or have a bad game. I think they're going to be. I think if you're going to start coattailing this team, I think now's a good time to do it.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, I mean, I think they're definitely going to win this game. Will they win by 13.5? Yeah, I'm going to go in game. Just wait, see if it's close, and then plus it. Because Clemson, they dropped a big game at Virginia Tech. Oh no, they were at home. I think they were at home.
They were at home. Yeah, lost by 10.
So that hurt them big time. So not that they're in danger of falling out of the tournament. It's just more seeding for them. Them taking a couple losses is not going to be great in the ACC.
Yeah, right. They're 20-5. They're 10-2 in the ACC. Clemson is.
Exactly. So here we go. It's a kind of a big weekend for one of these teams. Kansas, they're now up to 9th in the poll, and 5th is Iowa State. This is at noon tomorrow on ABC. Iowa State hosts Kansas, 6.5-point favorites at home, 142.5-point total. Don't know about Darren Peterson playing or not. Seems like more points. I had this at 3.5. What are they thinking? I think Darren Peterson moves the needle that much, so I like Kansas plus the points, but I think Iowa State's going to win.
Yeah, I think I would take Iowa State here. I think it's probably really tough to come over a big emotional win like that, even though it was on Monday.
Yep.
But I don't want to say it's a letdown spot, but I feel like the way they won that game, the way they battled back, and they did it at home, which is probably going to make it a little bit easier. I just think that turmoil, that emotional wear, I think is going to have an effect on this game, and they could still be feeling the side effects from that Monday game against Arizona. So I do like Arizona. I do like Iowa State here. Iowa State technically does have a better defense than Kansas does too.
Oh, yeah.
They give up 64 points where Kansas is at 67. I know it's only really a basket, but
they're a really good team.
I think Iowa State is slept on big time.
I'm excited to see this one because I have seen Kansas play a couple times, actually 3 games now. I want to see Iowa State, obviously quality opponent, and we'll talk about them. If the Big 12 is right now gauntlet central. You wonder why BYU lost 4 games in a row. It's because they have to play these teams back to back to back.
Yeah.
Let's go to the SEC now. Kentucky, they're 25th ranked at 14th. Florida, that's going to go up, by the way, Coop. Florida is a robust 11.5-point favorites in this game, 152.5-point total. This is at 2 p.m. Central on ABC. Look, Florida is a juggernaut right now. They've won the last 4 games by 25 or more in 4 in a row, and I love them to win this game. I didn't think it was going to be this high because Kentucky's usually a rival, but Florida is balling right now. And here's the other future I put. So little tidbit, Kitson hit me up like to try to get some sort of referral for Bet Rivers because he's kind of getting frustrated. Illinois is taxing the hell out of these operators, and I think he's got to pay like 50 cents on every bet or something.
It's crazy. DraftKings makes you do 25 cents or 50 cents per bet.
Something like that. So he's like, Rivers doesn't do that, but they hit you with the VIG because it's minus 112 instead of minus 110 now. But so anyway, long story short is I sent him some email or something so I got a free $100 bet. Guess what I did? Future on Florida to win it again, baby. 14-1. Let's go. So I've got those 3 futures. I'm just purely hoping like a couple of those teams make it to the Final Four and James Hedgerton III will put on his monocle and make some cash,
Yeah. I actually think Kentucky is a live dog in this game. I think Kentucky needs this game for its tournament kind of resume. If you look at their schedule, they have a win over St. John's, and that's kind of their biggest. They beat Tennessee earlier last week.
Sure.
They did beat Arkansas. I guess they've beaten Tennessee twice, which I don't know how much that's going to help in the tournament resume. But I just think they need more of that signature win that they've been kind of chasing all season. So every time they played, Louisville, they've dropped. Michigan State, they've dropped. They couldn't beat Carolina. They got embarrassed by Gonzaga. So I feel like Kentucky really could use a nice signature win for the program or for their resume this year.
Yeah, ever since that Zags loss, they have definitely played better. I think Mark Pope, they were coming out with the pitchforks to get him out of town when they lost that game. But he's turned the team around. They're playing way better. Florida's playing at a really high level. So I definitely like the over in this game. I thought 152 was low. I thought this would be more like 160. So I like the over. Classic Jimmy Wegs. Going to wait for the live line. If Florida runs out to 20-0, I won't bet on it. But if they're like, it's close early, I will definitely get a better number for Florida. Because 11.5 is a lot of points.
And this game could dictate the SEC. Kentucky's only 1 game back. And they're 8-3 and Florida's 9-2. So, you are kind of right there, as far as where the winner of the SEC comes from. And these teams do rematch the last game of the season, by the way. So
they do.
It could all come down to that.
Should be nice and physical. I like to see that.
Yeah, throwing the body.
All right, last Saturday game to highlight in the Big 12 again. This is Texas Tech. They're 16th ranked. It's still number 1 Arizona. That'll probably change. Arizona, 9.5-point favorites at home against Texas Tech. That's a pretty good team. 155.5-point total. This is at 5:30 p.m. Central on ESPN. I don't know, man. Isn't this too many points? I love Arizona. I think they're a really good basketball team. Yes, they got beat, so they're going to come back with a vengeance. And Tech isn't playing that good, but 9.5? Oof, that's a big number. I don't like it. Too far. Too many points.
Well, I don't know if Texas Tech has got a defense to slow down Arizona. That's the problem. They're top 26-ish. I think I'm looking here at Ken Pump. Yeah, they're literally 26. Texas Tech is in defensive rating. So they do have a little lackluster on that side. So I just don't know if they're going to give Arizona enough trouble when it comes to Arizona scoring the basketball. Arizona's very balanced. We both know this.
Yep, Beat's good.
Yeah, a loss usually wakes up really good teams. They finally had that experience, that taste of a loss for Arizona. So usually the well-coached teams that are especially a little bit older, like Arizona is, they'll get refocused. And I think you take the Wildcats here.
Wow, they're gonna lay the wood, huh?
Yeah, lay the wood. Yeah, they're gonna be at home too. They haven't played since Monday, so they've had 6 days off? No, 5 days off.
It's gonna be Tommy Lloyd's gonna he's gonna lay into him, but I'm not sure he's that type of coach. But look, dude, it's going to be a hell of a game. I don't know. Toppin's a pretty good ball player. They got to slow the game down. I don't think they could play at that pace that Arizona wants to play. 155 is really an Arizona's total. So Tech's got to slow the game down if they want to win the game.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. It's got to be that rock fight you talked about.
All right, Monday the 16th, just in case you wanted to leave the Big 12, you can't because you've got Houston, the 3rd-ranked team, the 5th-ranked Iowa State again. I'm showing Iowa State as a very short favorite here in this one. I'm not sure exactly. This is an estimated line. I've got them as a 1-point favorite at home, 142.5-point total, the same total as the Kansas game. This is at 8 o'clock Central on ESPN. Look, Houston's good. They're a good basketball team. I worry about Iowa State in this one. You're going to play Kansas. maybe you roll them. Maybe you win by 20. Maybe you crush them and you feel great. Then you're going to play Houston. Like, what a tough back-to-back for them. So I don't like Iowa State in this game regardless. If they lose on Saturday, maybe they can bounce back. It's only in 2 days. It's a really quick turnaround. So Houston, I like, coming off a little bit of rest. I think they're going to win this game and cover that number.
Yeah, and to your point, like, this is the toughest stretch of the schedule for Iowa State. They're going to go Kansas, Houston, then they get BYU, and they get Texas Tech and Arizona. They have Utah sandwiched in between that. So you're going to learn a lot about Iowa State because previously they have not played. I mean, they played St. John's and Purdue, but they had probably 2 weeks in between those games. And outside of that, they have not really been tested as much. They've obviously lost to Kansas the first time and then got beat by Cincinnati and then the brain fart against TCU. But
Right.
I think I'm with you. I think I would take Houston here. I would take the physicality. And I think that's kind of what's given Iowa State trouble in the past are those, like you said, the teams that get up and guard in your grill. And Iowa State's more of that shooting team. So I will see, but I think you're right. I think Houston's probably the play, even regardless of the outcome for the Iowa State and Kansas game.
Okay. Last game on Tuesday, this is the Big Ten. You've got Michigan going to Purdue. I'm showing Michigan as a 4.5-point favorite. That's an estimated line. I think this is going to be a high-scoring game, 167.5 points. This is early, 5:30 p.m. Central on Peacock, if you have that.
Yeah, streaming on the cock. Hell yeah.
Look, I don't know. I kind of sometimes can't stand this Michigan team. They're so good. I was watching them play Northwestern the other night. Northwestern was winning at half. I think we're up by like 8 or 10. They were up by like 12 at one point, and then Michigan just flipped the script, man. There was a hook and hold call that kind of flipped the game a little bit. Went from like a 9-point advantage all the way down to a 4-point advantage for Northwestern, and then it was all she wrote, and they won by 11. They didn't cover the number, but Michigan just flips it. They've got another gear. They've got size. I think they're going to beat Purdue in this game. I don't know about 4.5, but
yeah,
I think they'll win this basketball.
I think Michigan might be the deepest team in the country as far as especially when it comes to scoring and then even with the size like you mentioned. So yes. I like Michigan quite a bit. They are a little bit older. They're I think they have 5 seniors. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, they got 5 seniors, 3 juniors on the squad. So I think just a little bit of that veteran presence helps in that regular season and keeps everybody kind of on the straight and narrow. But yeah, I think to beat Michigan, you got to have more than what Purdue's going to offer you. Unless Michigan beats themselves, I don't see it going any other way.
When I keep saying this, Michigan's huge.
Yeah.
They've got like all these super tall dudes. That Mara guy's like 7 feet. He's got really long arms. Then you got the guy who comes off the bench is tall. They have 2 small guards. Other than that, everybody's super tall.
Yeah, they've got 7. Ade Mara is 7'3", and then Cordell, number 32, is 7'2". So I mean, they've got some. Yeah, they got 2 guys that are 6'9", 6'8". Shortest guy on the team is literally 6 foot.
Right.
So,
I just don't see the Purdue guys, and they're going to get pounded on the glass. And I don't know. We'll see what happens. I mean, obviously, Action's a Purdue guy. I'm sure he's rooting for him. But if Purdue wins this one, I'll tip of the cap. I'll say, hey, good for you guys. You're back on track. But Michigan's a really good basketball team, and in for the 1 seed, like overall 1 seed.
Well, yeah, they've only lost 1 game all season. So, and
Wisconsin, of all people.
Literally, I know, right? Isn't that wild?
Well, Illinois lost to Wisconsin too. That team's a little. We don't talk about some of these teams. There's some sneaky teams out there. You got to watch out for those guys.
Yeah.
Like Wisconsin, I don't know. All of a sudden they play great, and you're like, okay. And the next game they play like crap. You're like, whatever. But they've had some big wins. Big Ten is no. I mean, they're talking about getting 10 or 11 teams in the tournament, which is kind of insanity. Same with the SEC, which I think is too many for the SEC. I don't think they're as good as the Big 12. Like top to bottom, they're maybe better, but like those Big 12 teams. I mean, there's like 5 teams that can make the Final Four in that.
I mean, I could see 11 teams come out of the Big 10.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think 11 is probably the magic number as it sits right now.
The team you need to watch is like UCLA because they're going to go to who they playing this weekend.
They play Michigan, I think, on Saturday.
Yeah, that one. They never come east well. Mick Cronin always complaining all the time about the travel. It's like, dude, make a new Pac-12 then, buddy. Stop complaining. We'll see. Well, anyway, I'm excited for the games. A lot of them are tomorrow. What do you got planned for the Valentine's Day?
We do have We do have things planned. I can't say
Okay.
I can't say it right now because I'm in mixed company.
You're not at liberty to say.
I'm not at liberty to say, but there are plans that are made for events that are taking place on Saturday. But outside of that,
Yeah, don't worry, Lenny. I'm not jumping out of a cake for you.
yeah, yeah, you can do your dances that you're doing while the intro is playing. That'd be great. Yeah, exactly. There you go. We already saw that at the holiday party, but that's neither here nor there. I'm just gonna play Pony. That's what I've learned. You play
There's
Pony.
a new version of Pony that I heard. It's like a remix with the rap in there. I'm like, oh my god, this is my new favorite song.
Nice.
Well,
Yeah. What the hell is Palentine's Day, by the way? This
I just
sounds
came
like a
up with
country.
it. I came up with it.
Okay.
So, the single fellas, and I say single, Phil is basically single because Sasha's in Antarctica, as you know.
Right.
So Paul, myself, and Phil were at the Super Bowl party at my buddy Brandon's, and like, oh, what are you guys doing Saturday? I'm like, I saw that there was like a samba thing. I'm like, hey, there's like a samba thing. Like I'm, Carnival, samba. I'm like, you can pretend like it's Valentine's Day, but you know what? I'm going there. I'm going there to see some action here. Let's go. So they all agreed to go. So I'm like, I just said, we're doing Palentine's Day. Yay! Nice. We're all pals.
Nice. So, okay.
There's actually a day party they want to hit too. I'm like, bro, I don't know if I can party from like 4 to 1, but
why not? That's not the Wegs I know.
Well, you know what? I don't know if the liver's there. Come on, buddy.
Yeah. Sesame Street is brought to you by letter A, I'm
staying in tonight. I got to rest tonight, and tomorrow I'll see what happens.
You can do it. I believe in you.
I can do it. That's what Palentine's. I'm gonna. The girls have Galentines.
Right.
We can have Palentine's. It's the same thing.
Palentine's. Yeah.
I'm gonna coin it. I'm gonna lock it in. Gonna make $1 zillion by this thing.
Yeah. It'll be right there next to Sweetest Day before you know it.
Right. Exactly.
100%.
Yeah. Before we sign off, I am gonna, not that he listens much anymore. My buddy Milos. My buddy Milos. I think his father passed away last night. So going out now. Didn't went easy to sleep, but still very sad. 84, great man. So shout out to Mr. Milos, and I know he's a big fan of the show, huge fan of the show.
Yeah, huge. I mean, this show was built on the back of that man. So, our condolences.
For sure.
For sure. And make sure you check out Wegsy on Thursdays, by the way.
Yeah.
Your primetime hoops show.
Primetime college hoops, man. That's on Tuesday. I'm on the Lockdown Coverage podcast on Tuesday as well, but I missed this past week because I had a happy hour. But I will be on next week.
Oh, nice.
We're gonna talk
what are you guys gonna? I was gonna say, what are you gonna talk about now that football's over?
Probably the draft. I mean, I'm assuming we'll start talking about the combine, which is coming up on the 27th, and then the draft for like a month. I don't know if we'll do this every week. I mean, there's the league year that turns over in March. We'll see what happens, but college basketball is my focus, laser focus right now. And we moved to Thursdays, so whatever. I'll just be doing double duty whenever we go Thursdays. It's fine.
Yeah. Well, anyway, maybe we can move to Mondays. We could do that if you want.
Yeah, if you want, whatever you want to do, man.
Yeah,
it's just,
we'll figure it out.
I like to do it after. Like, to me, the biggest games, if you look at the schedule, it's almost always on Saturday. Yeah. So if you do,
the Lions will be out, I see.
Tuesday, but we're good. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll get the logistics situated. Yeah, don't you worry. Yeah.
Exactly. All right, well, follow us at Side Action Pod on X, Side Action Podcast on Instagram. Don't forget about TikTok. I will put up a little zinger for you. Follow me at Wegspool on X and on Instagram.
I have a feeling that zinger is going to be about Southwest Airlines this week. And I'm Coop. You can check me on Instagram at Dalton Cooper and on X at Mr. Grumpy Gills. Again, we are the Side Action Podcast. Make sure to be on the lookout for a Southwest Airlines bin moment on your social media coming soon. I can almost guarantee it. So, all right, there it is. Love you guys.
That's a wrap for this episode of the Side Action Podcast. We appreciate all of your listens, and thank you for joining us. We'll see you all again next week.
Side Action Podcast, its owners and associates take no responsibility for the opinions or statements made by the show hosts or guests. Statements or show topics are not necessarily the beliefs of this podcast, and opinions of the show hosts and guests may conflict. Individuals following the advice given on the podcast accept their own risk of loss, as the Side Action Podcast, its owners, hosts, associates, or guests will not guarantee any advice given. The opinions and advice given are for entertainment purposes only. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Intro credit to OTMG the Vet, Old Me versus Young Me Part 2.